All right. Um, Hello and good evening. Hope everyone is having a good night so far. Welcome to another NGS cast. And my name is Key. Welcome. And tonight I'm joining by Kotip, one of my teammates. How are you going? How are you doing, Kotip?
Hey, Key, doing pretty good. Excited for tonight's match. We got a good one here. Really excited to see Rosemary and Line tonight. I know we can't be biased, but we did scrim them earlier this week, so uh, we did get to see some of the stuff that they've been working on.
Yeah, we'll see if they pull anything out that we saw in Scrim. But last night I had a Division E matchup, but tonight what we are bringing you guys a Division A East matchup between Happy Cloud and Rosemary and Line. I really hate teams with long names.
It's such a long name. I was trying to think of a way to
uh,
to shorten it,
I will
but I think
probably just say Parsley Snack, probably.
well,
Um,
it's a play on the players' names,
right.
isn't it? Because I think it's
Yeah.
Linehouse and well,
Yeah.
I guess
Um,
that's they
Snack
dug
too, I
their own
believe.
grave with that one.
But yeah. So before we jump into the lobby, on the standings, both teams are currently sitting at 4 points. Um, Team Happy Cloud had one domination, so they are ranking third at the moment, and Parsley Snack is ranking sixth at the moment. So it will be a close match for sure. And lobby is made, so I'm just going to join and invite you to the lobby.
All right, let me
Uh,
see it here.
Lobby invite got cancelled. So, but coin toss and map bans. Team Happy Cloud won the coin toss, chose first pick. Map ban wise, they banned out Outrack and Braxis, while Parsley Snack banned out Battlefield of Eternity and Sky Temple, and Parsley Snack is taking us to Inferno Shrine for game number one. Um,
I feel like we've seen a lot
Popular,
of Infernal Shrines lately, right? Seems to be one of the more popular maps.
yeah. I mean, it has been like the most popular map for like all like in general. You you see like it being the top picks in most division basically. Are you on Nexus? I'm just going to invite you to the game here.
Yeah, got it.
But yeah, like that's basically the most popular map anywhere. So not surprised that teams picking this map. Um, it is viewed as one of the most kind of balanced map, which also play both macro and micro. So it kind of have all areas that you need to have a good match.
Yeah, I agree. It lends itself to team fighting over the objectives. There's very specific, you know, goal to go for there, and it leads to certain kind of drafting. You want to be able to kill the monkeys on the shrine with ease and be able to snipe them from the opponent so that you can pick up the Punisher. Um, Love to see the new tower changes with this map because it's really changed the way people push with it. Before, the Punisher got all the aggro and you just push as hard as you can, follow up on the Punisher jumps. But now it really depends on what kind of Punisher you get, how you're going to react to that. I've seen teams um, splitting off the lanes, instead of pushing with the Punisher, to try and get value in other lanes and just let the Punisher do a little bit of damage while you get some action somewhere else. So we'll see definitely some high tier play today and see how they decide uh, to play this map.
Yeah, I think this is my first time casting Division A, so definitely looking forward to seeing this kind of better group of players and how
Yeah,
they play the maps and such.
definitely expecting some high caliber plays, but never underestimates a team's ability to throw. That's what our
And before we see a first pick Illidan somewhere. But going into the draft, let's see. Um, Zoo is still pretty high priority um, currently, so we'll see if he gets banned out or get first pick here. Sylvanas is pretty good, like you mentioned on the tower changes. Sylvanas good on um, shutting down towers and enhance the push pressure.
Yeah, that definitely becomes more of a priority, just to be able to get more value out of the Punishers if you're planning on pushing with it. So first ban here on the side of Happy Cloud.
Taking the sweet time as you should, because you just, even though you know what you are banning, you should just take your time. Use your timer wisely. First ban Sylvanas pretty it is pretty expected. Good
Yeah,
hero
because
overall.
if you're going for a very, high priority first pick, and then you leave something like Sylvanas open, they get a very strong 1-2 in response to your first pick. So that's a good ban.
On the side of ParsleySnag, they ban out Rhaegar. Rhaegar has seen a lot of plays lately together with Deckard on the Ruby change, and I also know that I think Rhaegar is one of Team Happy Cloud kind of go-to support as well. So so definitely like a solid ban there in my book.
Yeah, definitely a high priority healer there with the Bloodlust. Greymane, another just all around generally strong hero. And there's the Zul, still seeing priority in the bans.
So a lot of kind of first pick worthy heroes getting banned out. So let's see what we get here on the first pick. Tasada getting a slight buff may get that first pick and his first pick worthy, but we instead
Look
have
at
a
that.
first pick Deathwing. We haven't seen that in a while. And on the side of ParsleySnag, they snap lock 1-2 Abathur the Haka.
You know what? I don't want to say we saw this in our scrim, but we kind of saw that in our scrim a little bit, don't you? Don't you think we
I
got terrorized by a little bit of
I
that macro pressure?
kind of block out my memory already from 2 days ago. So, but I do agree that I vaguely remember there was Abathur somewhere in there. So yeah, no, that looks
Yes.
somewhat familiar. But
So an early pick Deathwing, huge health pool. His biggest fear is percent damage, and that's why we saw the Greymane ban for the curse bullet damage. And then Abathur Dahaka here is going to give split push pressure. Abathur being able to hat anybody on the map, kind of plays a macro game from level 1. Dahaka with his global, also getting a lot of split push macro pressure. So you can see they're already, prioritizing the split.
right, so maybe they will give up an objective or two somewhere during
It's
the
going to
game.
be tough, right? Early on, it's tough with an Abathur to try and cap the objective because Abathur's not a body, and
Yeah.
you're kind of fighting 5v4, especially with a Joe, a Deathwing. That's a lot of control over the objective.
So
Samuro ban,
right.
probably hat target, right?
Yeah, and a good Samuro is always very threatening. So maybe they don't want to deal with that at all. I don't know
Potentially
if-
more split
yeah.
push as well.
I don't
Yeah.
know if ParsleySnag plays it though, but maybe they do. I don't know. So, but
Still, always, it's
Yeah.
better to be safe than sorry sometimes with that.
yeah, nothing wrong with banning something that you don't want to deal with for sure. And if
So
it is
here's some of the spice that maybe we wanted in the Div E match last night. We see Abathur, Nazebo, Dahaka. This is a very much kind of a funky comp we're seeing on the side for ParsleySnag.
yeah, for sure. And that's the Deckard. I know Linehouse love his Deckard. Let's see if the Ruby is being the OP talent that everyone is talking about.
Yeah, everyone's talking about the Ruby as being a huge buff for Deckard. He's basically gets the mini potions whenever his Heraldric Cube hits. Once he hits level 4, he's got mini potions everywhere. Basically, the cooldown matching the Heraldric Cube slow that he has. So whenever he presses W, as long as he's hitting heroes, he's going to be putting out some mini potions to grab. And Muradin to round that out. So on the left-hand side, Happy Cloud, we're seeing a lot of more of a standard comp for this map. We're seeing a lot of Shrine Clear from Gul'dan, Raynor, Johanna, Deathwing. Those are all great Shrine Clear heroes, but I think the value that ParsleySnag is looking for is in that split push, as well as being able to dive into the back line. Dehaka can dig into any bush with an Abathur hat. He can get right onto Gul'dan, right onto Ana or Raynor. Muradin can jump in there. The Deckard potions, kind of what I was saying, there's just mini potions everywhere that can kind of keep these guys alive on top of their own self-sustain.
Yeah,
So
for sure. So ParsleySnag only need kind of one engage. The Haka and Muradin goes in, and then they can drop a zombie wall or like just like a Deckard root, and then that hero is just going to hate his life inside the circle.
right. But Deathwing can kind of pose a bit of a threat there as well, because he can dive into ParsleySnag's backline as well and get onto Deckard, get onto Nazeebo, and force a threat there where they don't really have the percentage damage to deal with Deathwing. So I think it goes both ways. They both teams have their strengths in the draft.
Right.
There's a band mount here.
10 seconds.
They want to remake.
Okay.
I'm fine. Wait.
But let's introduce the team. Well, I guess there's a remake.
Hold on. Train's not banned anymore. Yeah, someone's talking about the train, but I believe they unbanned that. Yeah, why don't we take this moment while they discuss this and introduce the teams.
But I think someone has already left the game, I think. Or they can just rejoin though, so yeah, let's introduce the team because the draft will stay regardless of what happens. So I will go ahead and introduce Team Happy Cloud. On the left hand side we have R275 Delta on Ana, Galaxy Quest on Deathwing, Brett Michaels on Gul'dan, Sweet Buns on Johanna, and Waterpow on Raynor.
And on the right hand side, red team Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line. We've got Snag and an S, Snag on Muradin, Winterheart playing the Abathur, Linehouse on his Deckard, Professor Bobo on the Nazeebo, and on Dehaka we've got Crow. So everyone kind of meeting up here in the middle. Abathur heading to top lane, setting his body up there. Happy Cloud getting the quicker clear. Johanna already on her way bot.
Right, so as expected, ParsleySnag is not going for the middle fight there. They already split up.
Yep. And we're definitely going to see faster clear from the side of Happy Cloud. They have a lot more wave clear, while ParsleySnag is just making sure Nazeebo gets his stacks. Looks like they're staying bot lane while Gul'dan goes to clear mid. Nobody mid so far for ParsleySnag.
And camps, both siege camps, all the camps are up right now, and ParsleySnag already on their siege camp. Team Happy Cloud is still trying to push up a little bit and try to put some damage on the towers. And,
this is something you want to do with when there's an Abathur on the other team. You want to get that early advantage because Abathur doesn't really come online till level 10. So I think they got to take advantage of this situation where we got a little fight breaking down at the bot camp.
And it's a 3 versus 3, and Muradin just tried to stall while he waits for his teammate, and they're all here, and Raynor is almost too low to stay in.
And here comes Dehaka in the back, gets a tongue onto Raynor, getting that kill. And it looks like ParsleySnag is going to snatch that camp away. I saw Raynor standing on the point, fighting Muradin, and that's not the person you really want standing on point. He took a
Right,
lot of
and,
damage at the beginning.
Yep, and I'm not sure the approach of going to the bottom camp. It's a good one either because ParsleySnag has the Haka to burrow down if they need it. So
Right.
and they indeed burrowed down the Haka and got the camp. But
Yeah, so Deathwing has the global, but he's got to fly first, and it's gonna take him a little longer. Dahaka can do it immediately.
right. But it's early death, so it's not really going to have too much of an advantage. So it's still pretty even. ParsleySnag has a slight half a level lead at the moment. First shrine is going to be bottom, and it's a Morton Punisher.
You always want to be a little worried though when the Abathur team gets the early lead. You know that technically, so you see some Abathur mines there around the shrine, setting up, getting the vision. As Happy Cloud starts the shrine there, Snag steals a couple of those minions.
So would you expect ParsleySnag to just kind of harass here and just end up giving the objective? Because
Yeah, with the Abathur comp, it's going to be a little tougher to win this objective, and you can see that it's already 22. They make a play onto Raynor here, who's in the zombie wall, in the room, and they got the kill there onto Raynor. A huge zombie wall.
Right.
Raynor, yeah, just gets deleted there by all of that CC.
so Team Happy Cloud has to pull Deathwing down for this fight to try to keep up with the body counts here, and I thought ParsleySnag is going to give this objective up, but they're still trying to fight because
You
of
know,
the kill.
And this is kind of what I was saying. Look how hard it is. Deathwing barely taking damage at this point.
Yeah.
They don't really have an answer for the Deathwing, and that might be, you know, the key to keeping Happy Cloud in on this objective, and they take it. Mortar Punisher.
So, just quick note, Muradin went all basically assassin Muradin build, just hammer and skullcracker.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of damage coming out of him. Every time he hits a Q, he's gonna get a little more damage on his hammer stun, and that stacks indefinitely.
So first objective captured by Team Happy Cloud. They got the entire front wall of the bottom fort.
Now we see it coming out already. The call down mule already healing that bot fort. Some of the damage that it's taken. Abathur, the only hero left in the game that can actually heal
So
the
Muradin
forts.
jumped in trying to put a stun on Raynor, but
He gets away.
right.
Yeah. The slow is pretty nice because it helps when he jumps in and slows the hero. It sets up the zombie wall. But he wasn't able to catch him there. They
So-
don't want to give this up.
Yeah, Team Happy Cloud still trying to push in, but I don't know if they can do it with only 3 people, especially if you want to get it, you have to get the entire fort, or else like Abathur is just going to just meal and just heal it back up.
Right. They're trying to not give Abathur the chance to meal this back to full health, but
Right.
they're not getting too much extra damage on the fort, so we'll see if this is worth it.
XP is still pretty close and even, with a slight advantage going to ParsleySnag. They are bringing Godan down, and there is 4 versus 3 at this moment. Godan just put out a lot of damage on Muradin, and Muradin is already down to 30% health.
See if they can close it. Here comes the Haka with the flank. Gets the tongue onto Raynor, and it looks like he's done for. Some huge flanks from Crow so far this game, landing those essential tongues to turn the fight.
Yeah, and it's kind of terrifying because a drag into a buffed up Muradin Stormbolt, that's
Oh, yeah.
almost like the entire health bar of Raynor there.
That's going to do a lot of damage. Now, his level 4 doesn't do extra damage to heroes, but it will help them have that siege damage. But still, as that stacks, the stun and all of the CC from the rest of ParsleySnag is going to make, yeah, a big tongue like that is going to make a big difference.
The ParsleySnag is going to try to do the bottom camp, but they decided
decided
to
to
move
walk
away
Yeah.
because Team Happy Cloud have all 5 players down here.
Yeah.
And of course,
The
they
rogues
don't-
have come
yeah.
online here. Yeah, so maybe they didn't want to waste their Abathur clone at that moment.
Gathers power.
Looks like Happy Cloud moving in for an invade. They're on the point. Deathwing puts his fear out, gets all of the other
Yeah.
team off the point. Joe, go.
Oh, Silence of Decker actually got interrupted, so there's no sleep until now. So,
And it totally whiffs.
but they did get their first kill of the team fight in Rainer, but
Bobo
Nazebo
looking
is
pretty low.
So low, but he was able to get away with like a 50% health. Everyone is low on the side of ParsleySnag, but they somehow got out surviving without.
Yeah,
losing
again,
anyone.
Rainer gets hit with that Dahaka tongue, even though he survived the tongue, but it just kept him out of position, and that's what put him out in that fight.
So while that fight broke off, the objective is up on the top lane. Team Epic Cloud is already like on it, and while ParsleySnag is just staying
Looks
bot
like
lane.
Yeah, it looked like they just want to push in bot right here. Maybe keep stacking up Nazebo, and maybe they're gonna get more out of this than
Yeah,
the Punisher would top.
yeah. Definitely has to come down to try to stall them instead of having them free pushing this fort.
Yeah,
And,
Happy Cloud recognizing though, and they're getting the front wall down up top, which is gonna help the Punisher when it does start pushing here.
But on the side of Team Happy Cloud, they saw that and they are trying to prep up the top lane so that the Punisher can go further in when it happens.
And here they come. Here comes ParsleySnag. There's a dig from Dahaka. Lots of pings. Dahaka looking.
Going for
He's looking for
Rainer.
Rainer again. He looks like he's getting away. Oh!
The
A
Blaster-
big sleep.
Yeah, the Blaster Shield actually offset the sleep, but no one
Yeah.
has died yet.
There he goes again. There's 2 deaths in the back line.
Hero slain.
But it looks like Deathwing trying to match that up now. It's very hard for him to take a lot of damage into this team comp. And he manages to make it a 2 for 2 here.
So the Deathwing drop together with the Horrify got a lot of people low, and they were able to capture 2 kills onto Deckard and Nazebo. And the Punisher got the top fort and now is marching onto the keep wall.
Let's see if they continue to push here. Everyone's back up, but Gul'dan and Rainer just spawned, so they're not going to be there in time to push with the Punisher. But maybe they could get at least part of this wall so that Abathur can't heal it back up.
They got 1 tower on the wall.
Which
That's
is something,
about-
you know, that
Yep.
as long as they get something that can't get healed back up, that's going to be in their favor.
Right.
Happy Cloud making a move for the bot camp as ParsleySnag moves into the mid lane to stop any kind of push there.
But as bad as it looks, they only lost the top fort at the moment. They still have 5 structures up, so
It's very even, and
Yeah.
you could tell this game is going to go pretty late at this point already, just from the level of forts that are still up. It lends itself to a longer game where Nazebo could potentially get a lot of value. Well, looking at Nazebo's stacks, he's at 75 stacks right now, level 15. He's gonna have to do a little more work to definitely to get to the 175 needed for his power spike at level 20. Fight breaking out here mid, just a bunch of poking, trying to clear all these camps out without getting too much damage onto the fort itself.
yeah, ParsleySnag is just going to hope to do damage control and just try to keep the damage to a minimum so that they have a late game power spike in Nazebo.
There was the fear to just disengage a little bit, make sure they couldn't get any more of an engage onto the Rainer there.
Hyperion is popped and got some damage on the mid fort, but again,
There's really nothing else to heal up right now, so we can expect the Mule to make its way mid. A fight breaking out
Yeah.
near the top camp. Snag running really low, has to pop his avatar. Joe goes down. Now
Deathwing is in a lot of trouble
yeah.
and he's going to go down as well.
a bit too deep after he flew in there, and he just eats a lot of damage from the whole team. We see a
And
2 for nothing there
yeah,
in
and
favor of ParsleySnag.
that's your Ruby value. Just all the mini potion just get picked up immediately by Miradan in the midst of like a 10-man
Exactly.
team fight.
Yeah, it looked like he was gonna die, and then all of a sudden he's just full health again.
So they got the Bruiser Cam on the side of Team Happy Cloud, and they are moving onto the mid fort, which is already have a gate down. And let's see if they push in mid here. So they are able to get the mid fort and then backed up as the third shrine is coming up in 20 seconds.
They even up the forts there, so you can see the call down mule on the mid fort is now healing it up for the red team. Abathur's, little guy doing what he can so far.
So
Happy Cloud. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was just going to say shrine is mid lane, so the fort that they just got out of the side of Team Happy Cloud is already really big if ParsleySnag can win this objective.
That's true. That'll give him a huge advantage because the fort already being down there. Both teams trying to make their play onto the shrine. A fear from Deathwing. We see Raynor inside a zombie wall, tongued, and in the Deckard route. He's just melted.
And
now we
getting
see-
camped on the backhand side by Deathwing, and
Dahaka on the other side also taking a lot of damage.
it's just 1 versus 3 here. The Hawk is trying to.
He's trying to survive. He's got the hat, and he goes into the bush. Now Deathwing's the one in trouble, being chased by 3 of the other team. He's very low. He's going to need to get away from here. He's being chased by Crow with the Abathur hat, but he looks like he can get away. Gul'dan now in trouble. Little fights popping out all over the place here.
Sleep comes in, slap Ana, but then the Haka missed his tongue and not able to get onto Ana.
Yeah, if Dahaka hit that tongue, that would have been lights out
Yeah.
for Ana for sure.
Shrine is still in favor of Team Happy Cloud, 33 to 20. They just have to tap up and just should be able to get 7 more with Gul'dan.
Deathwing drops in the back line again. And it looks like Happy Cloud's able to take this, which is crucial, as you were saying, because they had no mid fort.
Right. And Mew is still trying to heal up this mid fort, but it will go down after,
Yeah.
unfortunately, and moving on to the keep wall.
Blue team has destroyed a fort.
So this is a frozen Punisher. It's going to start disabling these. Well, it actually wasted its roots, its freezing power there for a second. So it's going to need to wait a few seconds before it drops some more. It's getting melted pretty quickly here. Let's see if they can at least get this wall down. Dahaka trying to... Oh no, that's the clone
yeah,
right there.
that's the clone
Yeah.
trying to stall out and
They did a
prevent
good
the other
job.
team. Yeah.
They kept the wall safe, so the mule has something to work on now as the teams move over here to the mid camps.
So
Raynor gets hit by a stun. Able to walk away. There's Avatar. Now Dahaka coming in the back line with a fear from Gul'dan. There's a silence on Raynor and a tongue onto Raynor. He's very low.
But no one is there to help the hacker, so Raynor is able to walk away.
But the rest of the team fighting over the point. Johanna was isolated trying to hold the point, and she goes down to the rest of ParsleySnag. And then they finally get a kill on Gul'dan there mid lane once their kind of positioning just fell apart. So you can see ParsleySnag's got this very disruptive kind of comp where they're kind of coming in on all fronts, attacking at all sides, and it makes it not only tough for the casters, but it makes it tough for Happy Cloud to respond to those plays.
So we are at level 20 and Acebo is nowhere close to being stacked, so I don't know if that's a concern for ParsleySnag at all at
Yeah,
this
he
point.
gave it up. He did not go with the
Pyro.
level 20.
Right.
Yeah, he goes Humongoid, so he does not get the
Red team has destroyed.
the 175 vial infection. But not to say Humongoid is anything too bad. It gives him a huge cooldown reduction, making it so basically his Humongoid's going to be up every minion wave. You know, every 30 seconds we're going to see that Humongoid ready to be popped.
Yep, if that's just the in-game adjustment that you have to make because he's probably not going to get that 175. So
Yeah, it would take him way too long, and
Right.
you know, to really finish that. But he is still stacking. As he stacks, he's going to get more health and more mana, so he does get a little beefier, a little safer throughout the game as well, even if he doesn't have that bonus damage that the Vile Infection gives. It looks like ParsleySnag is making a play for the top lane.
yeah, as Team Happy Cloud trying to get their 20s, they're trying to just cover all the lanes, trying to get their 20 before this objective.
And Happy Cloud is trying to counter push bot, but the top fort is already gone. You can see that there's Humongoid value right there because they're able to start pushing down that fort even without minions as the Humongoid starts taking the tower shots for him.
So Team Happy Cloud just hit level 20 and we will have a level 20 fight on this shrine.
So we can see 11-2 in the kills. ParsleySnag dominating the kills so far. Let's see if level 20 makes a big difference for Happy Cloud to be able to get this engage. We see two Dahakas in the back line terrorizing Ana and getting the kill right away.
Let's see him out, but didn't get anyone. And Merden's just at the backline trying to just throw hammers at their backline.
Yeah, and with no healer, no tank now, Happy Cloud's gonna be in a bit of trouble trying to survive, and it looks like Gul'dan's the sole survivor as Murden looking for him. He gets away. So huge double Dahaka in the back line there. Just terrorizes the Ana, melts her immediately, and it gives full control of the shrine to ParsleySnag.
ParsleySnag is trying to prep this bottom wave as the Punisher is on its way. 8 more shrine.
Murden
minions.
jumps in, gets the double stun, the rewind onto Gul'dan, and that's going to be a full 60 seconds before Gul'dan can come back in. He jumps in under fort, gets the stun with the Deckard follow-up root. This is going to be a defense right on the core with an Arcane Punisher.
Yeah.
This is going to be a tough defense.
Gul'dan stuff is pretty costly because it is another 40 seconds and Horrify was going to be up, so the stagger that may have cost them the game here. But
A big Blessed Shield to stun on everybody. Deckard very low, able to grab some potions to stay alive now.
But they're taking a lot of damage on the core and is falling rapidly, and just game 1 going to ParsleySnag.
There you see it, just kind of a hectic team comp, getting dives on the back line. The tank kind of acting like a DPS there with Murden jumping in, and it put a lot of pressure on Johanna to try and mitigate those advances from ParsleySnag, and it just turned out to be too much for her to handle, and we see 16 kills to 2 in favor of ParsleySnag in their first victory of this match.
And as code tip, bringing you guys up the stats, I have to restart the game because it's just crashed on me. That's why you guys are not seeing the post game.
So I'll recap some of these things. So we see 7 deaths from the Rainer there on Happy Cloud, which you saw he was the primary target. He got tongued quite a bit by Dahaka. Deathwing ends up being their top damage with 66,000 damage. And on the side of ParsleySnag, actually not as much damage output, 47,000 top damage from the Nazebo, 42,000 from Abathur. Everyone kind of across the board doing a good bit of damage, but we see Deckard popping out 85,000 healing compared to Ana's 58. Him able to put out those rubies, put out those mini potions. Ana under a lot of pressure throughout most of that game to try and keep everyone topped off, while Deckard was well protected because there was really no damage to be put on Deckard as they were fleeing for their lives throughout that whole match. So the 2 kills there onto the back line. Deckard and Nazebo were the ones to fall, and just across the board they were snagging kills onto Happy Cloud.
Yeah, definitely. They weren't like they Team Happy Cloud just cannot get like a sustained fight that they were looking for because of Godan and Raynor. They wanted to just poke out the enemy, but then you just have double the Haka just jumping onto Anna's. Just there's not much you can do if Anna is not able to find her heals and just be comfortable sitting at the back and just healing her team up. There's not much you can do.
Right, and Murden and Dahaka both having that form of self-sustain, as well as the avatar to increase Murden's pool. The stone form gives him a big heal at level 16, as well as all the healing that Dahaka gets throughout the game from his essence stacks. So it's really hard to pressure Murden and Dahaka while they're all over your back line. And able to self-sustain for that long. We see 47,000 self-healing from Murden, 36,000 from Dahaka on top of all the healing Deckard was able to pump out with his potions. Abathur, of course, also providing healing and shields as well. 23,000 healing from Abathur. So just a lot of pressure and a lot of sustain that allowed them to pull off this kind of funky comp successfully here in Game 1.
So if you're on the side of Team Happy Cloud, what kind of adjustment that you may be thinking if ParsleySnag is going to pull out like some kind of uncommon kind of team comps that you may not see every day?
I guess you got to be careful. It's really hard to try and ban against that because then they could just switch and play something very standard, and still be able to get some strong picks where you're kind of wasting your bans in that sense, trying to stop some kind of cheesy comp, and then you get caught off by leaving the strong heroes and letting those get through. I wonder if there's any particular part of that draft that they thought was particularly oppressive. Maybe the Deckard ban could come out because that kind of will fit into multiple comps, and we have seen him be kind of a nuisance since his buffs this past week.
Yeah, you made a good point. Just trying to pick on areas that you can counter. It's banning out the Deckard could be a kind of general thought that you can go with.
Yeah, that'll give them, at least make them have to switch up how they play that, because the Deckard potions and the mini potions, there's a lot of what allowed Murden and Dahaka to do what they were doing and just have tons of sustain as they just wrecked the back line of Happy Cloud.
So we are waiting for a lobby for game 2. Looks like there's a lobby. And they were just waiting for me apparently because all 10 players already in there.
All right, well, we're in here now, and they look ready to go. We're going to Dragonshire here. So who had map pick, and who's going to get first pick this game?
First pick is going to Team Happy Cloud. So they lost map 1 and they chose first pick. So it is the map pick of ParsleySnag here.
Which, when you take first pick, you're giving away last pick to ParsleySnag, and that gives them the potential to do something sneaky. Once your full comp has been played out, they can sneak something in that can't be countered once you pick it in the 5th position. So we'll see how that plays out. Dragonshire tends to be a bit more of a 4v4 map because of the necessity to have the solo laner in the top lane to defend that shrine. So it might lend to a bit of a different style of play from ParsleySnag, Rosemary and Line here.
So just waiting for everyone to be ready and we can go to our game 2. Dragonshire is actually my favorite map in the game, so I always love to play or cast some Dragonshire game. But
You've got some. I don't know what these quotes are coming from. Some of these players. When I die, I want to be cremated. It's my last chance for a smoking hot body. When I die, I want my team to lower me into the grave so they can let me down one last time. I don't know what's going on. They're just having some fun as they wait for the R's.
all right, here come the R's, and we are going into the draft. Well, looks like I pressed the button too early. All right, well, there you go.
There we go.
So Team Happy Cloud sticking with the first pick. Let's see if they will switch up their ban strategy and ban out the Deckard, as we thought it could be a viable option here.
Yeah, let's see if they do any switching gears. Abathur ban on Dragonshire. Kind of interesting because not one of his better maps. You have a little less presence on the fights for the shrines that you're trying to keep hold of. But you know, a good Abathur is always something to be scared of. He turns any 1v1 into a 1.5v1, and he can kind of be anywhere at any time. So they decide to ban that out. Don't want to deal with that.
Right, and sticking with the Rhaegar ban, which is not surprising. And then
Greymane.
Yeah, Greymane.
They banned that in game 1 also. So maybe they don't like playing against it, or a particularly good Greymane on the other team. Zul ban. Since they have first pick, they didn't want to let the Zul through, especially on a map like Dragonshire, where rotating and controlling the lane, Zul with his wave clear can get a lot of control there.
First pick coming out from Team Happy Cloud, and we have an Alarak.
Okay. Like I like to say, I'm always scared of a good Alarak, so if you're willing to first pick the Alarak, that means you've got some confidence in his play here. Galaxy Quest played the Deathwing last game, locks in the Alarak. So I wonder if that's going to be in the solo lane, or if he'll be in the 4-man.
And on the side of ParsleySnag, it's an early Ragnaros.
That is early. And I wonder if they're planning on having him in the solo lane here. You know, he has some sustain, but the fights can kind of drag on trying to control that top shrine. And, you know, Rag might not be able to hold that alone. There's a Deathwing as well, and a Mal'Ganis. That's a lot of melee coming out from Happy Cloud so far. Deathwing as well. Potentially the Greymane ban is because they like to play the Deathwing, and Greymane's Cursed Bullet is huge counter to Deathwing.
And
there's the Deckard ban.
Especially
but that's
yeah.
wait, that's from themselves.
Right.
So.
I guess they are not planning on picking Deckard themselves, so they are just going to ban it out.
Yeah, that clearly implies that they didn't plan on picking it here, obviously. And then the Anna ban on the other side. Looks like a little bit of a different approach for them. Maybe, you know, looking at Happy Cloud's team, maybe the Deckard makes sense there because of the mini potions, as Mal'Ganis is diving the backline. Deathwing, well, he can't pick up the potions, but for Mal'Ganis at least, as he's kind of just wreaking havoc. They go with a Tyrande and a Junkrat. Pretty spicy again from ParsleySnag.
Yeah, just the way that Team Happy Cloud is setting up with the Mal'Ganis Deathwing, with all the like melee heroes, and you have a really weak, I guess not weak, but as in like a really squishy team comp here on the side of ParsleySnag. So really interesting to see what their thought process is on this draft.
Yeah, that definitely leaves a lot of the back line to kind of just be terrorized here by Mal'Ganis. Although, if Joe puts up enough of a wall, it doesn't look like Jaina and Alarak would be able to put enough pressure onto the Turan. Junkrat has a huge range. And then a Leo here to wrap up the draft.
To match the Deckard, so it is likely to be a 4-man Ragnaros here.
We see some swaps. Crow going to be playing the Leo. Professor Bobo on the Ragnaros there. So expecting that Rag to be in the 4-man now.
So they're just going to switch up everyone, I guess, basically there.
Yeah, so I'm guessing we see the Deathwing in the top lane. Leo, a good counter. His percent damage against Deathwing. Deathwing's huge health pool should help them. Maybe that's why they decided to switch Ragnaros out of the solo lane position.
Alright, as we are loading into the game, which side of the draft do you like more?
I mean, I always like Alarak because, the level of execution and the amount of damage he can put out. But it leaves a lot to the actual execution of the draft when it comes to pulling those in and getting the combo ready for Jaina. On the other side, it's kind of funky too. I don't know what I would pick here. I'm just gonna go with Happy Cloud because I want a game 3.
Right.
But that's just a biased. I want a game 3 call right there.
But let's quickly introduce the team. On the left hand side we have Team Happy Cloud, Outhold 75 on the Malfurion, Galaxy
there's a
Quest.
pause.
Yeah, that's a pause. Not sure.
I think they're talking about a bugged talent on Leo. Ocean Renewal is what he picked at level 1.
Right, I believe it's only the interaction that is banned, so
I think you can heal him while he's dead or something like that. Not totally sure.
the bug I believe is if you have the Alone Chosen on Leo while like just before he dies, and Trande is able to heal him back up during that and shorten the death timer. But they're just going to
They're gonna
go
play it
with
out.
it. Yeah. I was going to introduce the team, and
Yeah.
I guess I would just still go ahead and do it. I was stopping a Galaxy Quest on Alarak, Bright Michael and Jaina, Sweet Buns on the Mal'Ganis, and What the Pow on Deathwing there.
Yeah, and on the right side we've got Snag on Joe, Winterheart playing Junkrat, Leoric for Crow, Linehouse playing Tyrande, and Ragnaros played by Professor Bobo. As the teams move down here, Rag caught in a Jaina Blizzard and then rooted, killed by the dragon's crazy fire there.
Right, I always scare about a combination of Mal'Ganis Malfurion. I think it's one of the best kind of pairing with Mal'Ganis. So sleep into root, and then you just throw a bunch of damage onto that target, and that player we're going to go down most of the time.
So Happy Cloud making a play onto Snag's camp, and they get it there. A clear steal as they have 4 players down here. And it looks like Deathwing is going to be part of the 4-man. They didn't want to give Leo the matchup that he wanted, and they put Alarak up in the top lane. Looks like he's doing some good damage to Leoric right now. Junkrat making thought about making a rotation. He comes
Yeah,
back
definitely makes sense. And the first objective is coming up here. ParsleySnag trying to get the capture of the bottom shrine here. Yeah, capture point.
So, Happy Cloud ends up grabbing both, but Jaina dies mid to Junkrat.
So that's
We didn't
a solo
see what
kill
happened.
on Junkrat.
Yeah, it looked like a true 1v1 there, and Junkrat takes him down. Must have been a good bomb or a
Onto
root.
the tower range, I believe, something along
Yeah,
those
that-
lines.
That would be my best guess for a solo kill in that environment.
Unfortunately, I didn't capture that because who expect one versus one solo kill there?
Yeah.
The Jaina,
So they're-
yeah, on the siege cam here.
Deathwing lands just to make sure that they capture this. They don't want any funny business. Junkrat seems to be sitting mid just to keep control of the actual capture of the Dragon Knight. He's been putting his roots and his bombs around. Doesn't want any trouble there. Happy Cloud making a play for the bottom shrine as Junkrat moves top. Maybe going to try and make a play on Alarak.
And
Happy
Jabba is
Cloud
going
pushing
in
in
there.
bot.
Leo is really low and is going to fall onto Alarak
Oh!
possibly, but the boop actually saved Leo.
That was crazy. That boop saves Leo there with a slice of life, but now Junkrat pretty low. So this is the new level 1 talent from Alarak that gives him auto attack speed. As the fight's breaking down in bot lane, Ragnarok
so
very
low.
low, trying to get away. Gets chomped down by Deathwing in that little charge.
Kills is 3-1 at the moment in favor of Team Happy Cloud.
Happy
And-
Cloud trying to make a play onto Junkrat now. He gets to sneak away. As ParsleySnag trying to grab bot shrine now. They've got both shrines, but no control over mid lane to actually channel the Dragon Knight. Let's see what plays out here. Deathwing alone in the bot lane. A lot happening mid, and they catch Junkrat. Jaina putting out tons of damage.
Junkrat was a bit too aggressive there alone without any frontline protection, and Jaina's low and just going to drop Junkrat down.
Jaina now channeling. Leo, we get a blind from Johanna to stall it. Now Rag also stalling it by controlling the fort. He's got a lot of range.
And on
And for
top
the
here, Leo is going to go down possibly again. No, but
it looks like they turned it onto Alarak there. It was so close. Leo down to basically no health. Gets some help. And they end up getting the kill onto the Alarak, resetting his sadism.
But on the other hand here, Team Happy Cloud again baiting the siege camp is able to get it, and
Kill onto Joe as she comes with a very heavy rotation, and she pays for it as the team gets her from behind there.
so both teams are kind of all over the place at the moment, and Team Happy Cloud is trying to be really aggressive here, and they built up almost a 1-level lead right now.
Yeah, they're about to hit level 10. They've gotten the whole bottom wall, where tends to be the bottom lane is much more important on this map because there's 3 camps that push in the bot lane, as well as one of those channels for the objective.
So level
Malgan
10 is
is trying to
online
channel.
for level 10 is online for Team Happy Cloud.
For about half a level, if they're going to make a play here, they got to do it soon. Joe asleep in the mid lane. She's going to be able to walk away.
Top lane here is just still 1 versus 1, and Junkrat came up and tried to get Alarak, but
Deathwing lands to make this a 2v2, but there's a disengage. Now both teams have level 10. And there's some action in bot lane as well. Mal'Ganis pressuring the back line. He's going to get a sleep onto Joe on the point with a... Oh, that was a huge Blessed Shield into Sulfurous Smash. Not enough though.
and the Riptide came out. It's got burned down by the Jaina combo, but then Junkrat just trying to be super aggressive and walk into the middle of Team Happy Cloud and just die.
Yeah, there was also a little anti-synergy where Leo actually caught Jaina in the Entomb and
Wow,
then boops her, and Junkrat
right.
booped her out. So she actually was able to survive there. And that goes first Dragon Knight over to Happy Cloud as they start pushing in mid lane. Alarak inside of the Dragon Knight, getting some serious siege damage onto that tower. In the bot lane, there's a fight also breaking out. Deathwing pretty low. gets out of range of the Ragnaros tower as the mid wall goes down.
So Team
for
Happy Cloud
ParsleySnag.
got the entire wall of middle fort. They tried to rotate down to bottom. They still have 30 seconds on the dragon here.
Let's see if they can get any more out of this. They're probably going to just poke down at this fort. Nobody to heal it up this game. 15 seconds left.
And they have no minions, so like the dragon is taking all the damage here. And Blessed Shield just pops and then
We have a
Trying
whiff
to
on the
get them.
Sulfurous Smash and a re-engage onto Tyrande. She goes down. Deathwing.
came out and didn't do anything, and Team Happy Cloud is
Deathwing
going to
flies
get
into the
like
back,
Joe as
yeah.
well.
So 2 kills there onto ParsleySnag. And Team Happy Cloud comes out of that Dragon Knight. Looking pretty good.
Yeah, so they are not going to go with the fort because they are kind of low and don't have a minion wave, so they decide to take the siege camp once again. I think this is the 3rd time that they got the siege camp on the side of ParsleySnag.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've seen ParsleySnag actually capture that on their own behalf. So now they're making a play for the bot camp, trying to keep pressure on this bot lane. As I was saying, this is generally the most important lane on this map because of all these camp pressure. Johanna checking the mid camp, the siege camp, and doesn't see them there. Must assume that they were bot, as ParsleySnag moves bot to try and defend this. Make an engage onto Mal'Ganis, who steps away from the Sulfurous Smash. Was a little bit late there from the Blessed Shield. So a lot of cooldowns used. Making a play onto Johanna. I think she already used her D.
And this fight breaks out here, like all 10 heroes are here, well except Alarak. So it's a 5
Alarak
versus
top,
no
but
in favor of
Deathwing taking a
ParsleySnag.
lot of damage. We see Deathwing go down. She kind of dove under the tower there and just couldn't really do much without getting poked down all the way. They decide to re-engage. Just nope, looks like it was just a disengage from Mal'Ganis. And there they go back in again.
Junkrat is in trouble, but he's able to walk away. It's
Leo also took a lot of damage there.
and claim vengeance for my family.
A couple different engages. Alarak made a play onto Junkrat, as well as the rest of the team making a play onto the Leoric. Neither able to close the kill.
So only one person went down during that whole skirmish there.
Crazy.
Came up. Bottom shrine is now controlled by Team Happy Cloud, while top is controlled by ParsleySnag.
Deathwing clearing top as the rest of ParsleySnag now is moving bot. Looks like they're going to try and make this a 5v5
came
engagement.
out already, and the combo of ParsleySnag trying to get one person. And they tried to do it on Mal'Ganis both times, and Mal'Ganis survived both times.
Yeah, they've been trying to get it onto Mal'Ganis. It's generally going to be the easiest person they can land it on. But we see a lot of Alarak pulls and silences coming out here. Alarak pulls his R, but unable to close a kill with his sniping there on his counter-strike. But they do enough to capture that bottom fort, destroy the bottom fort there, taking the first fort of the game. Potentially the most important fort, too.
Right, this will help them push out the map if they get a second DK here. But
Yeah.
it may be a while till we have a second DK, because no heroes is down at the moment. Mal'Ganis is trying to be super aggressive, trying to pick someone off, because both teams have a really good like kind of pick comp in. If they isolate one person, they can just kill it really easily.
Yep, and with the level 16 advantage, now we're seeing Happy Cloud moving in on this camp again. Deathwing's taken a lot of damage so far. Mal'Ganis pulls his ult to try and survive here.
Mal'Ganis not taking any damage.
But there he takes a huge combo, gets saved. Malfurion's Tranquility, keeping Mal'Ganis alive. All these Mal heroes on the side of Happy Cloud.
So what happened there is it was basically a 4 versus 5 because Happy Cloud actually at the same time channeled the DK while grabbing that camp. So they would have a DK and a camp here in bot lane in just a second after the DK just finished off the mid fort there.
The team has destroyed a fort.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot of pressure they're going to be able to put out. Rag already taking control of the bot key to try and stop this assault coming in from the rest of Happy Cloud.
So seeing
the Dragon Knight.
Seeing the Molten Core bottom, the DK is just going to prep the mid wave, mid lane instead of going bottom.
Yep, so just pushing in mid, getting a lot of damage there while the rest of the team pressures in the bot lane. Looks like the DK is finally making its way to the bot lane now. 15 seconds left, 49% on the health bar. Probably just wants to walk in and do some damage at this point. 8 seconds left, it's not going to get much more out of
They
this.
should back up now because ParsleySnag may just re-engage with the Blaster Shield. Here comes the Riptire. Blaster Shield came out and there's no Subvert Smash came out.
Yep. The Entomb whiffed. Now we see Mal'Ganis deep. A lot of low health bars for Happy Cloud. They might want to get out of here. Looks like they decide to stick around as Malfurion tops everybody off. We've got half health on Deathwing, who cannot be healed by Malfurion. They decide to finally walk away.
So a lot of button has been pressed, but no one dies of that fight. Deathwing is jumping onto the sky and try to get some of his health back.
Yeah, but one of the only ways Deathwing can heal is in the sky. So that's one of his downfalls. One of his few downfalls that they've been trying to nerf away at him over time as the team's just taking camps right now. Deathwing chilling in the sky, looking for a place to land.
ParsleySnag is getting pressured by Team Happy Cloud so far this whole entire game. I don't even think they have walked past the mid midpoint of their lane because all Team Happy Cloud structure are pretty intact at the moment.
Yep. So big push here coming in the bot lane. This is what we were talking about. All of these camps.
Leo is tough.
So with this Bruiser camp as well as the Siege camp, they're gonna have a hard time defending. Rag putting a lot of damage onto Alarak with his Sulfurious Smash, as well as his damage from the fort. Alarak able to survive, and they take down the first keep of the game. Now in response, Leo does take top fort, but obviously a keep gives you the catapult pressure. It's going to give you a lot more of a benefit here as the fight wages on. Mal'Ganis still putting people to sleep. Very low for Tehran. She goes down. We're seeing Happy Cloud come back with a vengeance here. They do not want to give it up so easy. They want to win game 2 with the level 20 advantage now. Nobody's picked their talent. We see Wintermute now from Jaina. A very big power spike. Her Welly. As the fight continues here on the point. 4v5. They don't want to give this up. Actually, Alarak just spawned top, so he wasn't here.
A lot have happened, like Mal'Ganis actually get a solo kill on the backline on Junkrat, and they are able to get 3 kills in the process, and I think they're just going to walk up to the core and end the game here.
It looks like that's going to be GG's called in the chat. I don't know if that's the engage they wanted. You know, it was 4v5. They had the level 20 advantage on the side of Happy Cloud. It looked kind of like a desperate play that maybe they didn't need just yet.
Yeah, I don't know if they want to try to make a desperate play because they haven't been able to get anything going in the entire game, so they feel like they need to make a play there, but unfortunately wasn't able to do it.
It's going to be that. Alarak ending with 152 sadism. Nothing to brush off there. That's a lot of extra damage. Every one sadism is an extra 1% damage that he does to heroes, so 152% extra damage to heroes. Starts at 100, but up to 152 there.
As we finish up game 2, we have a tie game here, game 3 coming up, but at the same time, we got a double raid from DB Smiley and Taco there. Thank you very much for the raid. And also earlier we have a few follows from Ghiblis and Athenau and Pelabarus. Thank you for the follow and all the raids. Thank you very much. Welcome to the stream, and we will have a game free of this Division 8 East matchup between Team Happy Cloud and Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line. Just a second.
So you were saying this is going to be your first game 3 casted, right, Key?
Yeah, this is definitely my first game 3 of all the casts I've done. I think this is the 5th cast I've done so far in NGS, so really excited to have a really close series. I think Parsley Snag had mostly in control in game 1, but in game 2, Team Happy Cloud is just turning the table and just putting all the pressure onto Parsley Snag, and just the way that they approach to game 2, like just constantly trying to get that siege cam. I don't even think that Parsley Snag got that siege cam once the entire game.
Yeah, it was very much more of an aggressive approach that we saw from Happy Cloud. 10 kills from Jaina alone there. 55,000 damage. She's really pumping it out that game. It looked like Parsley Snag put a lot of weight into their team fight, into the Johanna Blessed Shield, followed by the Saphira Smash, the Tyrande E, to get a lot of that control on one target. But it looked like they tried to do it to Mal'Ganis a lot, and they weren't able to close the kills, either from Mal'Ganis sneaking away, Malfurion hitting him with the Tranquility and a few heals to keep him topped off. So they weren't able to really execute that combo that they really wanted. And a little bit of anti-synergy we saw sometimes with the Leo and the Junkrat. And it just didn't seem as clean as they had control in the first game. So Happy Cloud definitely looked good in that game. Evens out the series and sending us to a high energy game 3.
Yeah, I also want to mention that I think the adjustment they made like early, like right at the start of game 2 is knowing that the Leo is a counter to Deathwing, they just switch Alarak to the top lane with a 4-man Deathwing. I think that pays off as well.
Yeah, that paid off huge, because that allowed them to take control of those camps. Junkrat would put his mines on the camp to try and blow up, to keep control of the point once the minions were dead. But you can't boop away a Deathwing. Deathwing's going to stand on that point, and that helped them secure all those early camps, kept that aggressive play, and just kept them keeping control of that bot lane, pushing down the wall, eventually pushing down the fort as well.
Alright, well, we are waiting for lobby. I think there's a lobby up already, so let's see who picked this map. Let me update the score. Game 2 won by Team Happy Cloud. And we have an even series going into game 3.
Alright, let me get into that lobby.
Man, these guys are fast. Like, all players are already in the lobby.
That happened to us with the scrim too. Remember when we went for the scrim?
Right.
Every map they were all in there waiting on us.
They just come prepared. Even they lose, they know exactly what they want. So game 3, Parsley Snag lost game 2. They chose to have first pick. So this is a map pick of Team Happy Cloud, and it is Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Tomb of the Spider Queen. A lot of rotation on this map. Early on, you're gonna see a lot of control. The usual comps, we never know what we'll see from Parsley Snag here, but the general early game is to get control of the rotations on mid and top, capture as many of those gems to turn into the Spider Queen, and keep control of those lanes so you can have time to go do your camp, or get a little extra push while the other team is cleaning up. So I'm expecting to see priority onto heroes with a lot of wave clear and control, as well as heroes that can stall as people are trying to channel to turn in their gems. You generally want to be able to stall that out and keep vision of the turn-in points. So we'll see how these drafts go and if Parsley Snag has anything up their sleeve like we saw in game 1.
Yeah, someone is just taking a minute break and we'll get underway really shortly here. It seems like ParsleySnag like the Nasibo pick. I don't know if we'll see it here. It is a good Nasibo map.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of wave clear, a lot of chance for him to stack if he's going to be in the 4-man rotating. It does give you a lot of option. He, like I was saying, he has a lot of opportunities to stall people from turning in. Main thing is positioning on Nazebo. He doesn't really have any mobility, so you want to be very careful when you're stepping up, not to be caught out. So that's really his downfall. But he can put out tons of damage, tons of poke, and control there as well as siege damage.
So I'm just saying that the casters are ready. And we are heading into game 3. Is ParsleySnag going to hold off Team Happy Cloud, or Team Happy Cloud is going for the reverse sweep here?
Let's see how this draft goes and see which team looks like they've got an advantage going in to game 3. So ParsleySnag chooses first pick here, meaning Happy Cloud took us to Tomb of the Spider Queen. They ban out the Rhaegar immediately like they've done in every other game. That has been their first priority for a ban. They've also banned Zul as their second ban, but they haven't had first pick. So now that they have first pick, let's see where the Zul ban ends up, or if it's going to be banned at all. There it is, immediately from Happy Cloud.
Yeah, a double soak Zul on this map is just really strong on the top and mid lane. So none of that. So finally, after 2 games of Deathwing, there's no more Deathwing in this game.
Yeah, even in game 1, even though they lost pretty handedly as far as the team fights went, Deathwing was doing a lot of damage and a lot of control. So that was a big part of how Happy Cloud was able to stay in game 1 and how they were able to dominate game 2. So that's out of the picture now, as well as Ana now as a second ban from Happy Cloud. There's the Deckard. The Deckard was a huge part of their game 1 strategy with the Ruby, the mini potions, really making a big difference. So they instantly grabbed that. Johanna, strong with the wave clear on this map, is going to make for quicker rotations. Tassadar, huge wave clear. After his rework, he really can control lanes and put out a lot of damage. You just have to be careful with your positioning, just because he kind of roots himself while he's doing his spells. On top of that, I mean, Tassadar, if he goes Archon and the level 20 Archon, that can be a really strong late game. Draft moving pretty quickly. We see a Blaze and a Raynor coming back from ParsleySnag. So Blaze, safe pick for the bot lane. Unlikely to be able to get ganked. Able to wave clear pretty well and collect the gems just to make sure that he's doing his job. Nothing too crazy expected out of that. Raynor, good team fight damage, good wave clear. Just kind of a pretty standard pick there out of Professor Bobo. We see the Murden ban, who was another menace in game 1. They don't want those mini potions. They saw the combination that the Deckard mini potions could have with Murden jumping in, causing havoc to the back line. Tassadar would be definitely a good target for a Murden, especially with those mini potions. Now we see the Greymane ban. Good wave clear. It could be a good way to round out Happy Cloud's composition. So since Happy Cloud had been banning it earlier, they said it's our turn to ban the Greymane.
So on the side of Team Happy Cloud, they still need a healer and a solo laner, or possibly an auto attacker here. Let's see what they picked up here.
Ooh. Ariel. I wonder who the Ariel battery is going to be here. Tass has good sustain damage, good burst damage. I'm wondering where the battery is. Junkrat, you usually want to see something like a Vala or Gul'dan, something that's consistently putting out damage to charge the Ariel's heals. Let's see who keeps the hat on this game.
We will forge a
Ooh.
great destiny.
This looks like a main tank variant. I don't think it's going to be Blaze as the main tank. We might see a taunt into the Deckard combo. Orphea has a good bit of burst damage, and Raynor can pepper off the last bit. That could potentially be a taunt combo coming from ParsleySnag.
Yeah, I agree, and they have enough wave clear too from Orphea and Blaze, I believe, so they wouldn't be suffering too much on that department either.
Yeah, but definitely Happy Cloud definitely has the wave clear advantage in the 4-man, because of, you know, all of their heroes have good wave clear. Joe, Tass, Ariel with her Q sweep has good wave clear, and Junkrat with his AoE bombs. So overall, I see more wave clear control from Happy Cloud, but you know, nothing to sneeze at as far as what ParsleySnag can do with theirs. They're going to be waiting for level 4 for Variant to come online, assuming he is the main tank here for Taunt, because he's really not much of a hero until he hits level 4 and picks his heroic.
Right. And Snag is a tank main, so I have to assume that it is a Taunt variant. Also on the side of Team
Good
Happy
point.
Cloud, I know that we kind of talk a lot about within our own team here that we don't usually like to have Johanna and Jurel together, to not have like the reliable engage, so it will be interesting to see that. Also Tassadar and Junkrat, they don't have enough, like it's all like poke damage, it's not much of a burst here, so
That's true. Their kill pressure is
yeah.
a little soft, especially with no. They don't have as much CC as I would like what you're saying with the Joe. Really, she's got her blessed shield, but everything else is kind of soft CC. Urel, not too much. She's got a little disruption. Junkrat with his disruption, but not that hard CC that we'll see from the side of ParsleySnag.
Right, so let's get hype up for this game 3 and introduce the team. We have
Alright.
on the left hand side Team Happy Cloud, out to 75 Delta on the Ariel, Waterpow on the Urel, Galaxy Quest on the Tassadar, Sweet Bun on the Johanna, and Brad Mike on the Junkrat.
And on the right-hand side, Varian, played by Snag, Orphea, played by Winterheart, Linehouse got the Deckard, Crow on Blaze, and Professor Bobo on the Raynor. As we see the wave clear pop out real quick, as I was saying, for Happy Cloud, just melts that wave and moves top lane. Orphea here by herself trying to get a head start.
So as you
And there you have it.
yeah, Team Happy Cloud has the faster rotation here with the Tassadar and Johanna here.
They actually cleared it so fast that they really had nothing to do there for a few seconds. Boom.
Yeah, it's
Mid-wave
like
is clear.
1 second and the entire wave is going to go
Orphea
down.
needs to
and
be
Orphea is-
careful.
Okay, alright.
Joe's making a play, coming around, gets the slow. Orphea
And he's
by herself.
trapped. She's trapped. Alright.
There it is. So there's a few gems dropped, the ones Orphea had collected so far. Happy Cloud gets the early kill. And that's what the wave clear advantage can do for you. It lets you make plays like that because the other team is too busy clearing and their resources are too split. As that wave clear advantage also allowed them to start moving into the camp, and they give it up to move bot.
So they looks like they're rotating out of vision here to get to the bottom camp here, which I would assume ParsleySnag has no idea that is there.
I doubt they know, but it leaves. So Urel's going to mid to help clear. Tassadar by himself can't really he's got good clear, but he can't really collect the gems. So they get the camp, and they're starting to move back towards their rotation,
Right.
while ParsleySnag got their bruiser camp to get some extra pressure in mid.
It is an early bruiser camp though, so not sure how much it will help for them here in the mid lane.
There's
The
taunt
comes
onto
out.
Junkrat. The follow-up damage, not really there, but Varian did so much by himself, and Orphea just comes in with one quick Q, ends the Junkrat. That's the power of taunt Varian with the overpower at level 1. He gets a lot of resets on his heroic strike. That's kind of his burst, and even a taunt Varian can put out a good bit of damage there.
Yeah, and onto Junkrat, that is as squishy as you can have for a hero in this game. It goes down really
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, that was a great play. The Deckard root to keep him in place after the taunt, so you can see they do have that crowd control.
Taunt comes out again onto Johanna, but it's Johanna, so she will be able to get out.
Barely though. It was at about 25% health. So you could see that the Deckard acting as the follow-up CC for the taunt, and there's no cleanse on the side of Happy Cloud.
Yeah, I would expect they will go Crystal Aegis at level 10 for Ariel, which acts as a save, or they can still go Resurrect, just to give up the taunt, I guess the death, if they choose to.
Yeah, I'd lean towards the Aegis, but we'll see which way they go here.
So Varian is always looking here, so Junkrat has to be really careful as well as Tassadar.
Junkrat gets pushed away.
So both teams
So-
are saving up for the turn-in now.
Yep, and it looks like Snag able to put in his gems. It's always nice to get the tank to put in their gems, because
Right.
then they can zone for the rest of the team. And they're usually the one picking up most of the gems. There's a taunt onto Johanna. She gets her unstoppable off. And a Junkrat mine boops everyone else away. You can see though the taunt even onto Johanna doing a good bit of damage, even in the time it takes for her to get her shield off. So both teams looking to try and turn in here on the top.
And
taunt now.
to Junkrat as well again.
Follow-up not quite there that time, but still getting him down to 50%. Basically by himself is Varian.
But thinking about it, with Ariel and Junkrat, they do have some tool to kind of mitigate that taunt combo with a burst heal or just like a concussion mine to just knock everyone out.
That's true. Orphea and Blaze trying to turn in bot. Orphea completely out of mana now. Neither one gets the turn in. Yrel does a good job stalling there.
Yeah. Yrel did get her gems in while Blaze actually still holding 27, which is huge.
Yeah, that's big for her, because now she can kind of control the bot turn in and just go and grab some gems, make sure that ParsleySnag can't get their gems in on the bot side. As they start to
And
control
Varian
the
is
top
going
side.
into the taunt on Tassadar, and he will
There's
go
the
down,
follow-up
like-
CC. Ooh, he barely gets the last shot there, but a lot of CC coming in, gets the kill onto Tassadar. It looks like they're going to try and turn now. Yrel coming up to try and stall. But this is a 5v4. They got to be careful. That's a lot of damage onto Joe. 33 gems. She barely getting away with her unstoppable.
And with Tassadar just spawning and Joe being low, ParsleySnag is able to get the first turn in.
First turn in, Tassadar at 50 stacks on his level 1 Q. Every time his Q hits someone, he gets 5 more stacks. That's 5 more damage. So we'll see how that goes. Blaze trying to finish up his Globe quest to get an unstoppable on his D.
And the first Warp Weaver hitting around the level 10 mark, so it will be stronger than like a usual level 10.
That early one. There's a big combo, and there's the Crystal Aegis to make sure Joe survives. She's got... It looks like she didn't have her D available. Barely gets away there with the Crystal Aegis. That was a great Aegis to keep her alive.
For sure.
As the push continues now in the top lane, They put down the Hyperion to get some damage, but a relatively good defense. The Weaver already down. Now they focus on mid lane. A whiff from Linehouse on the stay a while and listen, but enough to zone the team out. There's a bunker from Blaze to keep him alive. He's able to get away.
So, even though it's a stronger third wave at level 10, they were only able to get not much, just like 75% of mid fort.
Yeah, usually you want to grab a fort if you got that late of a turn in, but pretty good defense overall from Happy Cloud to keep mid fort alive and also survive all of those combos from ParsleySnag.
Yeah.
But this is what gets scary. The double turn-in that we're seeing now from ParsleySnag. They need to make a play here if they want to make a big defense, because this could turn into a bit of a snowball.
Yeah, and on the side of Team Happy Cloud, they do have the double turn-in themselves, but they are currently holding almost 80 gems on their hands, so they cannot really lose too much here, even if they give a structure.
We see a big engage. A Blessed Shield comes out, and there goes Junkrat's mine, but nothing there from the Riptire to close anyone off. Joe has a lot of gems. She has to play kind of careful. We don't want to see that many gems go down before you get even one turn in.
So even though a lot happened in that fight, no one actually dropped at that moment. ParsleySnag trying to push in with their Web Weaver here. They will likely get top fort here and middle fort here.
Yeah, it looks like they've got control of the top one. Not much that... There's a taunt onto Junkrat now. The follow-up CC, he's gone. There was the follow-up from Crow with his dash, as well as the Deckard root. That's a lot of CC, and we see Junkrat go down again to the taunt combo. 2 forts down now. And a taunt now onto Urel. She gets her ult off to survive there. But that's a long cooldown. Ardent Defender keeps her alive. 2-minute cooldown. And she pops that. 32 gems they were looking to catch off of her.
So what I saw there, it's on the taunt combo on top of the root. Decker actually used the silence to just basically zone the rest of the teams away so that there's no safe on the side of Team Happy Cloud on that taunt target.
Yeah, the big root kind of makes a lot of space. Now bot lane, we see Blaze having to jump in a bunker to survive here, get away. Counter engage now onto Orphea.
And Orphea combo Jet 2.
So the Crystal Aegis helps Joe stay alive. Urel was the other target, so a lot of beef was able to survive all of that combo. Lots of buttons being pressed. Everybody's got their buttons coming out here, and there's a sleep onto Urel. She finally goes down. Able to capture a lot of the gems back is Junkrat, and the counter kill onto Orphea. After booping her under towers there. Look at all those mini potions. They could make a play in there. Oh, and
Aureo is the target now, and
she goes down to the top, to triangle, to Deckard's triangle.
You see like 10 mini potion every time that the Heroic Cube come out. Like, it's just insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. They don't have necessarily the same kind of dive to pick up the potions in this comp, but they see the roots that Deckard can put out. That CC is being much more of the value Deckard's able to play in this game compared to game 1.
Yeah, for sure.
57 gems on Johanna. She has a full turn-in by herself. Only need 10 gems.
10 gems on the side of Team Happy Cloud. So even they lost a few players during the course of the game so far, they're able to hold on to their gems. So
yeah, but it just makes it that much tougher to engage. You know, you never want to take a big engage just to risk that you might lose
looking at Urel here in the bot lane. And Aki's defender is pop, and she is able to walk away.
But they're
Maybe-
moving in under towers now, trying to finish her off. There it is from Varian. A lot of resources on her. They're able to get the turn in response, but Urel's going to be dead for a good portion of this push. They might be able to just negate it. But this could help Happy Cloud stabilize here in the mid game as we reach level 16 for both teams pretty soon.
And the wave is not that pushed out, so they still can get something in Happy Cloud if they can find an opening.
So it looks like kind of a free clear that we're getting for a lot of the lanes here. Top lane basically done, bot lane as well, mid lane
Melee as
gone.
well. So Varian may be trying to look for something here. Ariel
A double
here.
root. There's Ariel gets the Crystal Aegis on herself, but she's still in a bad position, goes down.
And flanked from the place there. And they are able to get Tasada as well, and probably Urel here.
Urel goes down. That's 3 kills. A huge engage. No cleanse makes it very tough to deal
And
with
they're-
a
yeah.
taunt combo.
They're rotating to
from
the
Varian.
boss here.
Yep, everyone's going top. It looks like Varian's trying to keep them from turning in. Johanna 72 gems on her right now. So, I want to point out W build for Junkrat that's on his concussion mine. He gets reduced cooldown if he hits an enemy hero. We got a pause here from the Junkrat actually as I talk about it. Looks like Ariel has a DC. Hopefully it didn't happen in the middle of that fight because she was kind of the target there. That would have been unfortunate. Boss about to be picked up by ParsleySnag.
So it will be a boss plus a third wave push here for ParsleySnag.
Yeah, that's going to be a big push. We could probably expect top keep to go down. They're going to need, not to say this couldn't end the game, but they're going to need a big defense just to make sure that they can hold on at this point. They have tons of wave clear, so that does help as far as trying to clear out these web weavers. But they also have to deal with the taunt combo coming in from Varian. Everyone will be up. There's 3 dead right now. Ariel, Tass, and Urel will be spawning in time for this defense. But all of the cooldowns will be ready for ParsleySnag as well for their big engage.
Looks like
the game's started.
Yep.
So let's see how this one goes.
On that note, Johanna is now holding 72 gems while Junkrat has 36. So if they have any chance to come back into this game, they cannot lose those gems at all. So they didn't pick up the Web Weaver along with the boss on the side of ParsleySnag. They are just elect to push with the boss.
That's interesting because Joe able to unload a lot of gems there. Probably a relief for her. And look, they're getting the clear here on the boss now.
So while we were talking about they will likely get the top keep, they are able to hold on the side of Team Happy Cloud.
That's actually huge for them, as now let's see how they respond. They're getting a free clear in the mid lane for ParsleySnag. That Web Weaver demolished.
Yeah,
Looks like they're trying to push out the top one.
Right, they've been Ancient Blessing there on Decker to just clear that wave right away, and also bot wave is now down, so all they have is top lane here. Everyone is going to top lane and trying to get that push top.
There's a decent sized wave, so they're going to get this wall. Let's see if they can get the fort, but it looks like they're setting up for a flank. They're coming in pretty aggressive
So Joe,
here.
Yeah, Joe is scouting them out, so holding the zone.
The whole combo onto Joe. There's the stasis. She comes out unstoppable. Takes a lot of damage still. Joe goes down after all of that. A lot of low health bars, though, for the red team. Tass pops his Archon, trying to get the damage, but there's a re-engage. 2 more go down for Happy Cloud.
And Blake
Tass
is trying
probably
to
not getting
slow
away.
down Tass, and they will get him as well.
That's 4 kills to none with an engage straight onto Johanna with the taunt combo. Aegis as well as her Unstoppable kind of came out at the same time. So maybe burned a little bit too much trying to save Johanna. But just the way they've seen these combos go, I get it. I mean, there's just been terrorizing literally anybody who gets taunted.
So
So
that
they
timer, yeah, it's not that low, not that high. I think they're just going to back off and get their turn in, and
Yeah, they've got the 20 advantage now. So they've got, after all these kills, you know, 2-level lead. They're going to have the turn in, and they finally got that top keep that was left open by the boss.
so
Varian waiting to turn in.
yeah.
Looks
If
like
you're
they're
on
trying
the
to
side
start the
of
camp.
yeah, if you're on the side of ParsleySnag, are you going to try to get all the structure? Because I don't think you can go top and straight up end the game.
Yeah, I don't think they try and end here. Joe tried to come in to see who was on that bot camp, maybe get a kill there, but backs off when she sees a lot of ParsleySnag. So it looks like they're moving into the bot lane. I don't think that they can just go top and try and hit the core.
Right.
I think they're better off pushing in here with this camp, with this web weaver, and another wave.
Yep.
This is going to be a good place to set up.
Yep. They have Web Reaper and camps on both mid and bottom lane.
Hyperion dropped immediately to get that extra siege damage in the mid lane. And it looks like
came out trying to stall the third wave.
Yep, they've got half the health of the web weaver. No taunt combo as of yet. There it is, onto Joe, but she gets out this time. Crow actually pretty slow there, now hit by the TAS wall. There's an engage onto Orphea, and Blaze puts down the bunker, and they survive.
But as they defend, like all the structure is going down. They lost top and mid keep already, and there's still a wave here bottom lane.
With a camp, yep. So it looks like red team thinking about coming bot. They're going around. What are we gonna do? Web weavers go down, and they start to settle in around the camp of Happy Cloud. Johanna gonna sniff this out. She sees it for sure. There's a taunt onto Johanna. Combo, huge combo, and both of them able to survive. She pops her D, and Uriel pops her absorption. They're able to survive this. Still don't have level 20. TAS pops his Archon as the Aegis comes out. Unfortunately, he's popping the Archon before level 20. He's not going to have the Twilight Archon, Infinite Archon ready once they hit level 20. So that's kind of a big cooldown for them before they have that huge power spike now.
So it's another 32 seconds without Johanna. There's a mid camp. I think if they can get another pick here with the taunt combo, they are going to be able to end the
They're
game
looking
here.
for TAS. TAS gets away, but yeah, they're making their way onto the core.
And shield is down already, and with the camp there and all 5 players still there.
Let's see. Everyone's kind of backed off a little bit. Varian in a lot of trouble, taking a lot of damage. Able to get into the bunker, and they step away. That's a successful defense on the core. At what cost? They lose 47%, and ooh, Uriel barely gets away as well.
The Shield of Hope actually came out clutch to save Uriel there. 57% on the core, leaving 43%, so...
And another web weaver. This could be the end for Happy Cloud. They're going to need a huge defense, potentially just fight immediately before the web weavers drop to try and take this. Twilight Archon not up for another 12 seconds here. So Joe looking for the engage, finds 3 of them, everything coming out. There's the Riptire, lands onto 3, but a lot of high health bars still for red as they get the kill onto Uriel. And they just start engaging here. There's Ariel going down. Twilight Archon, just not enough. Gonna go down here as well. That's a 4 for nothing. Junkrat barely gets out.
Poor Junkrat, still holding 40 gems.
Does the honorable thing and dies with the rest of his team.
But,
And we've just seen a great game 3.
yeah, like Team Happy Cloud was able to find the an engage that they wanted there, but like a sleep came out from Deku just just everyone is not moving by then, so they weren't even able to get a kill, and then the turnaround from the side of Parsley Snag just taunt combo into one person and the snowball from there.
Yeah, we see 19 kills to 2. So that taunt combo really paying off. Orphea pumping out 84,000 damage to Tassadar's 80. But Tassadar putting out a lot of damage, but it's just not closing kills. It's a lot of poke here and there, where the concentrated damage of Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line closes out that game 3 in their favor.
Yeah, like I mentioned, like Tass and Junkrat are good poke heroes, and they deal a lot of hero damage, 80k and 69k, really good. But like they just couldn't find the kill that they need.
Yeah, and look at that healing. Deckard putting out 110,000 healing to your Ariel's about 50,000, which we were saying at the beginning there wasn't a great hat target for Ariel unless Tass is considered a good hat target at this point after the rework, but just not doing enough to get big enough heals throughout that game, just because it happens so fast. Those taunt combos just come out and you're either dead or you've burned everything trying to save somebody. So kind of a cool talent from Varian at level 13 picks the Shattering Throw. I didn't notice that in game, but that was helping them get the combos onto Johanna, because as soon as she pops D, he hits the Shattering Throw and her shield is gone, and they're able to follow up onto Johanna with the rest of their damage, and her Unstoppable is no longer there. So that probably helped them in those engages onto Johanna and why she was melting so fast.
Yeah, I'm trying to guess Snag or one of his teammates to get in for an interview, so why don't we jump onto lobby 1?
Let's do it.
Yes. Oh.
Oh, alright. Hello, so we
I
are
thought he was
joining... Well, where is Snag?
I thought he was gonna stay. I guess he's
Oh,
staying.
okay, so we are joining by Linehouse, the captain of Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line. Congratulations of the victory. I think it's pretty even game until the end. You just put the gas pedal on and run over game 3 there.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty even series overall. I will say though, knowing that we are undefeated, I look forward to moving down one more spot in the power rankings when Smiley releases them next week.
Yeah, they had, so this is actually you guys' third victory, right? Like you basically won all 3 series in a 2-1 fashion.
Yeah, we just don't dominate. We just eke out the victories. You know,
Yeah,
what
those
can
are
you do?
definitely close matches, but in game 1 and game 3, you guys had it's like it went both ways, because game 1 and game 3 you guys had a dominant kill advantage. Game 2, Happy Cloud had a dominant kill advantage. What do you think happened there in game 2 as far as what they were able to pull off and how you couldn't really counter it?
Honestly, they did a really good job rotating their Alarak to offlane, because we expected the Deathwing to be up there, and we didn't adjust appropriately, and they absolutely bodied us because of that. So that was a really good adjustment on their part. I'm assuming it was adjustment.
Yeah, we noticed that, and that's kind of that was surprising to us, and it was just 10,000 IQ play there, because it looked like Alarak was basically taking.
Yeah, Alarak was having a field day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, that was a great adjustment on their part for game 2 for sure.
And then also taking those camps, we noticed. I don't think you guys got your siege camp once that whole game, because Deathwing would just stand there and say, "Are you guys gonna fight me or not?" So
It turns out when you don't have enough damage to kill Deathwing and he's unstoppable and doesn't move on a mine, it's pretty easy to take camps.
yeah, so that was good. So in game 1, actually, we saw you guys, because we scrimmed against you earlier this week, and we saw you pull out that Abathur with the Dahaka hat. So I was kind of excited to see it here in action. Do you guys think that that was the plan from the start, regardless of their draft, or is that just your new plan on that map?
Honestly, we've always keep losing game 1. So we felt we were probably going to lose game 1, and we just wanted to see if it would work, and so we tried it.
So kind of worked kind of like
it's
it did in our scrim, because it's basically just attack the back line and see what they can do about it, right? That's kind of just Murd and Dahaka just going in and let's see what happens.
I mean, I just think I just think Dahaka with a hat is hilarious. I think that's really the whole key of that comp is just to put the silly hat in Dahaka as much as you can.
It's
Or
just
Mirrodin.
just for the meme, huh? Just to laugh at
Race
it.
car, vroom vroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, our Discord is all about the memes. Like, come on.
We could tell.
But no, even though like it's like it's good against an Ana. Like if Ana cannot be positioned effectively and can't put out any heals, like there's no counter to it. So like just the hacker or even double the hacker, like in front of her is just terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
No, it's
almost
just-
missed
yeah, I
that
think-
one.
With
Uh,
what? Oh, Crow
The
in the
double
back.
Dahaka there at the end, yeah.
Yeah.
In that last fight, we're like, this is
Yeah.
gonna be a huge fight. This is all gonna come down to this, and then just double Dahaka just destroyed the Ana, and we're like, oh, well, there you have it.
You were able to play Deckard twice in this series. Are you surprised that you are able to pick it up twice? Or you think that
I
people
don't- I mean,
actually supposed to ban it because Deckard OP?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I've seen we lost last week, game 1, and I had Deckard. So I mean, I personally think he's pretty good, probably OP with the Ruby change. But at the same hand, they're still higher priority bans, so I'm not really that surprised that they let it through. And I do know he's one of those supports that if you haven't maybe played him, maybe your team doesn't play him quite yet, and you're just learning him right now because he just got buffed recently. So
Right. And it seemed like his value was kind of flexible in game 1 and game 3, because game 1 those mini potions were keeping Murden and Dahaka alive, where in game 3 it was more that follow-up CC for the taunt, basically making sure you got the follow-up on the target as well as zoning out the rest of the team to kind of isolate the kill there. So we saw a lot of value definitely coming from the Deckard from different
Oh yeah,
angles.
that's why I like him. I think because I remember I was watching rewatching one of the replays from a few weeks ago, and I threw out a random route that was more of a zoning route, and I think the caster was like, Where'd that route go? Why is it out there?" And it's like, that's a zoning route. Like it doesn't not all routes have to land. They just have to be annoying.
and we saw it that game because it did both. It was catching the target as well as keeping the rest of the team off. So that was really a huge follow up to the combos there.
All right.
No, thank you.
So,
Yeah, no, I really like him right now.
Yeah. So it is kind of getting into the midway point of the season. You have 3 wins now. Do you have any like teams that you are looking forward to play on the season, or like teams that you are kind of
I mean,
afraid
honestly,
of?
this is one team we were looking forward to because I think Bobo said at the end of the match we usually lose to this team because they're pretty Happy Cloud's a really good team, so we were excited to look at face them again, and we got the victory this time. So I'm trying to remember who else. I know Gilly Shark is a team that we always seem to face. I don't know if you can ever say you're looking forward to facing a team that has a Samuro main, but
Fair.
I'm trying to remember what other teams are in this division. I don't really, you can tell the scouting person is not me on this team.
There you go.
But we're just looking forward to playing the rest of the season, having fun.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
I mean, three game matches. I mean, you're getting the most bang for your buck as
Right.
far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, we're playing as much of the dead game as possible.
There you go.
Right. Before I let you go, any shout outs?
Always, I'll shout out to Bobo's Boosted Beatbox. Everyone in there in the fam helping out. Actually, I'll even really shout out you, Key, because of wait. Actually, I can't remember. Kote, did you help with our warm up game as well? I can't
No.
remember who was there. But we did a warm up, and the caster Key was like, "I'll help you guys warm up, and then cast your match afterwards." Like that was pretty solid. So, thank you to you and
No
all the
worries.
people that did the warm up match. And as always, obviously thank you actually both of you guys for even casting tonight. Appreciate that. And Snag complain about me not knowing teams. Whatever. Yes, your job. That's your job. And shout out to even I forgot who was, I'm gonna shout out to the NGS Nexus Edge crew, since I'm doing that now with the producers. That's you, Key, Turd, and Rio. Just because I think it's fun. I think we're doing a good job so far. So yeah.
Yeah, so that episode came out yesterday, right? So we could catch a rerun of it on the NGS channel.
Yep, that was all about Div B, and next week is all about Div C.
Cool. All right, so you can hop over to NGS channel to catch that stream from yesterday.
All right. Thank you, Linehouse. Congratulations once again, and hopefully we'll cast another game of yours again sometime on the season.
Cool. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right.
Have a good one.
You
All right,
too.
thanks, you too. GG.
All right, so that's it for us for tonight. Really exciting free game series. My first free game series cast. So looking forward to more. Any closing comments from you, Kotip?
Yeah, that was just an exciting match. I'm glad we got to be a part of that, and see just those fun comps as well as just great execution from both teams. So hopefully we see a lot more of that in the rest of the season.
For sure. So that's it for us tonight. I'm looking forward to casting more games. Trying to pick up 1 or 2 games per week, and see how it goes there. But before I jump off, just a few more follows, shoutouts here. Regen Jesus, Hangfu, Bumblebee, Yana, thank you for the follow once again. So yeah, that's it for us for tonight. Until next time, see you guys.
All right, see ya. GG's.
Damage though, and that is showing.
Well, I mean, I gotta give.
Are among us, and they have plans.
You put together a group of Nazi hunters.
Welcome to the hunt.
Started on the other side. The tornado's over there. Just saying. But that's okay. They're able to secure it anyway. But you know, again, like my lack of DPS knowledge right now is hurting me because Tuna's like, watch me on Lunar.